Hi, beautiful black women. My name is Abby. I hope you missed me because I definitely missed you, even though you and I don't know each other. Anyway, in this video, we're talking about something that's been bothering me for a while. Why do rich, famous, beautiful, successful black women keep choosing broke, low-tier black men who bring nothing but chaos, struggle, and embarrassment? We're going to talk about this weird pattern of dating down, the community pressure to stay loyal to black men no matter what, and why some of y'all are acting like skin tone alone makes someone a good or bad partner. We're also going to look at some of the women this applies to because the list is very long and I have some questions. So if you're feeling confused like I am, sit tight because we're unpacking it all today. You know, before we start this, let me just say this. This is not about shaming black women. That's not really what I do. That's never been what I do. But sometimes in life, I do have some questions. Okay, and today is just one of those times because I'm looking around and me personally, I'm incredibly confused. I'm looking at some of the most beautiful, successful black women in the world and they're like choosing to date straight up bums, losers, like bottom of the barrel, low tier, dusty, low vibration men. And I am sitting here like, what is going on? At this point, I think I'm about to transition into a black man. Really, because they really get it good in the black community, don't they? Because you can be broke, dusty, emotionally unavailable, colorist, toxic, and still pull a black woman who is way out of your league. You can get on the internet and spew misogyny against the same women that gave birth to you, protected you, protested for you, bailed you out of jail, supported your rap career when you're on the corner selling $5 mixtapes, and these women who raised your kids, and still end up with a loyal, loving black woman by your side. You can be a man who's never been faithful to anyone in your life. And if you're religious, you'll have a woman thinking it's her fault for not praying hard enough. The devil is interfering in your marriage or something, not your dusty decisions. So yeah, maybe I need to start identifying as a black man because they really do have it made over here, don't they? Why are rich, famous, high-profile black women choosing men who are clearly beneath them? Why are y'all dating down when you have worked so hard to build your name, your brand, your legacy? Now, I previously mentioned Rihanna in another video, a literal billionaire, a global icon, and she picked A$AP Rocky, a man with felony charges, a sketchy legal past, and a history of colorist comments. Sis, you could have had a prince, a tech mogul, a CEO. You could have chosen another billionaire, but you picked him. That's interesting to me. Halle Bailey, talked about her in another video. Sweet, beautiful, talented, poised. A real-life Disney princess. And she gave birth to a son by a YouTuber. Is he a YouTuber? I don't know what DDG does. I think he is a YouTuber. I think he makes some songs that suck. That's what I've heard on TikTok. Those songs suck. Sorry, the music is not good. Okay, he makes TikToks and YouTubes for a living and really tried to make a name for himself off of her back. Like she could have had a quiet, powerful, emotionally mature man who protected her peace. Instead, she picked a guy who was loud and messy. Skai Jackson, another polished professional with poise and talent. And she got pregnant by a random internet guy who dragged her online and turned their situation into public drama. Like what? And the conversation around Skai Jackson and Keke Palmer's baby daddies, let's go ahead and stop right there, okay? Because I've seen the conversations. I've seen people trying to say that their baby daddies are a problem just because they're light skinned. Like somehow that's like the root of all this mess. Please be real, okay? Not everything is always about skin tone. Everyone's allowed to have a preference. I have a preference. Some people have racial preferences. Some people have skin tone preferences. Most black women like dark-skinned men, even if they don't bring anything to the table. It's like you just want a black man. So we all have preferences, okay? But like even when you have preferences, aren't you still vetting these men? Because I have seen people say Skai Jackson and Keke Palmer, they just wanted a light-skinned man. I don't know. But like if you do want a man that's light-skinned, you just get any one of them. Like it doesn't matter if he's nice to you, respectful. It doesn't matter if he has a job, if he has any income. I like light-skinned men and biracial men, but that doesn't mean I'll date one that's broke or abusive or disrespectful towards me. So I really don't want to hear that come into this conversation, black women. You guys love to bring up skin tone, okay? Don't bring that up in this video. I mean, you can. You probably will do it anyway. But I'm just saying most of you black women like dark-skinned men and they've been degrading you for decades, but you still prefer them. So what if they wanted light-skinned men? I would want one too, but it is weird to just get a light-skinned man and not properly do any vetting of them. I think that is weird. I don't think it's weird that maybe they wanted a light-skinned boyfriend or a light-skinned baby daddy. I don't think that's weird. Like, is he safe? Is he kind? Does he hate women? Just saying. What I'm not doing is walking into the store and just grabbing the first preference that I see, right? And just handing over my entire future because he fits a visual preference. That's not really how any of that works, not for me at least. There's a lot more that goes into it. So if you're planning to bring colorism accusations into my comment section, please don't. That's not what this is. I don't think Keke Palmer or Skai Jackson's baby daddies being light-skinned is what necessarily makes them dusty. And I'm bringing it up because I have seen that. And I'm afraid it's going to make its way into my comment section. I don't like that. Though all these men, they're dusty because of how they act, period. Okay, now back to the bigger picture. This pattern of dating down is getting out of hand. And guess what? It doesn't stop at those women I just listed. No, the list is long. Well, let's run through it real quick. Sherry Shepherd married a man who literally tried to get child support for a baby that wasn't even hers. We have Wendy Williams. She gave her entire legacy to a man who cheated, disrespected her, and spent her money on his side chick. We have Mary J. Blige. Married her manager, who fumbled her bag, cheated, and then had the nerve to demand spousal support. Got Fantasia. Married a man with no job and a messy personal life. Like she brought everything to the table and he came with paper plates. With Tisha Campbell. Her husband helped tank her finances and pretty much left her broke. Taraji P. Henson was engaged to a man who didn't want her to grow. And she admitted it. He just wasn't ready. We have Monique. Married her manager, and now there's like this weird open marriage situation where he probably is benefiting more than she is. I can guarantee you that. Jennifer Hudson, with him for 10 years. A man who never had his own lane and depended on her shine. It is weird. Summer Walker chose a producer with multiple baby mamas and red flags all over him. And when that ended, she moved on to another clown. What's going on? It's weird. Faith Evans married Stevie J. What? That's weird. Why? He's so ugly. Ugh. So again, like what is going on with black women? Like these women aren't dumb. These women aren't broke. Are they desperate? Why are these black women still choosing the same kind of men that a teenage girl with no guidance would choose? And I'm sure some of y'all will say, well, you know, it's the black community. We're conditioned to choose black men no matter what. And I hear you. I also need you to realize most of us are all adults. I don't know who's watching these videos. I don't know if there's teenagers. I have no clue. Most of us are grown women. Okay? You're not that little girl begging for attention anymore. You're not in survival mode. These women have money, access, knowledge. At some point, us as black women need to look in the mirror and say, why am I doing this to myself? Okay, dating a toxic man is one thing. That's one thing. But getting pregnant by him, starting a family with him, locking yourself into 18 years with a man who never deserved you in the first place? I'm not sure if that's trauma. I'm thinking that is just a decision. So I don't want this to be about hate. It's more so about standards. And if the richest, most successful black women are out here choosing broke, unqualified, emotionally unavailable, disrespectful men, what message does that send to the rest of us? We have to stop confusing loyalty with suffering. Stop mistaking chemistry for compatibility. Stop sacrificing your peace just to say you kept it real with a man who never even kept it respectful. I think you deserve more, but you also have to choose more. At the end of the day, these men are not changing. They're not suddenly leveling up just because you laid down with them. They're not becoming providers, protectors, or partners just because you had their baby. If anything, they get worse now because they know that you're going to tolerate it. And I want more for us. I want peace. I want us to have freedom. I want us to not feel like we have to get with a black man just because he's black. Black women have been carrying this community for too long to keep settling for the leftovers of it. You're not required to prove your blackness by attaching yourself to a man who drags you down. You don't have to play the loyalty game when it's one-sided. You can love yourself more than you love the idea of keeping it in the race. Because if the most beautiful, wealthy, and accomplished black women are still choosing men who don't have their lives together, then I think we have a very deep issue we need to face. Now, this is not about being bitter. This is not about hating men. This is not about shaming black women. This is simply about standards. And if you don't raise your standards, who will? Black women, I really hope that you liked this video. I'm sure some of y'all are in your feelings, typing it up in the comment section like you always do. That's fine with me. I just want to say that I love black women so much. And I don't know. I guess we'll talk later, right? I'll be here. You come back here and we'll talk again. All right. Love you. Bye.